This podcast is brought to you by Two Pits Barbecue, Briggs Goalkeeper Training, and Ophelia Soul Food Restaurant.
Hello. I am Coach O, and this is the National Scouting Service Podcast Show. We have a very interesting show for you all tonight. I know you are going to be delighted about this young man that I have coming on the show. Had him a couple of weeks ago. We was having some audio connection, so hopefully we got all that corrected. But I am Coach O. You can follow me on Twitter at Coach O Brown, and we have to give our shout out to our sponsors and our supporters of the show today. And we'd like to give a big shout out to Meek and Zeke Studios. We are currently going live in Meek and Zeke Studios. You can follow Meek and Zeke on all your social media platforms from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. We'd like to also give a big shout out to Cold Tees T-shirts. And I'm actually wearing a shirt that Cold Tees T-shirts had made for me for one of my podcast shows. I've been wearing it on a couple of podcast shows. But if you're into getting some shirts made for your family and friends, I have Cold Tees T-shirt information on the screen. Just get in contact with Cold Tees T-shirts and let her know that National Scouting Service sent you her way. Also, a big shout out to Uncontested Hoops. That is by Coach Herb Washington. If you're a basketball player out there and you want to improve any skill aspect of your game, whether it's from shooting, whether it's from ball handling, or just training, or the mental aspect of the game, give Coach Herb Washington a shout and let him know that Coach O from National Scouting Service sent you his way, and he can be found on Instagram. Also like to give a big shout out to Running Back Giving Back. That's one of our main sponsors of this show, and you can follow Running Back Giving Back on social media. Just type in runningbackgivingback.com or runningbackgivingback.org. That is by former Kansas City Chiefs All-Pro fullback and Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Famer. And I'd like to also give Kimball Anderson a big shout out. I didn't do it on my promo show today, but he is the running back coach at the Southern University, and they're playing against Prairie View A&M today in Prairie View, Texas. So big shout out to TSU coaching staff as well as to the players, and big shout out to Prairie View A&M as well. May the best man win. Also like to give a big shout out to Peace of Mind Athletics. That is by Coach Thomas Peace. If you end up looking for football camps or either football training, please contact Coach Thomas Peace on Twitter at Coach_Peace, or look for Peace of Mind Athletics on Instagram. Like to give a big shout out to another main sponsor of our show, and that is Two Pits Barbecue. That is by Coach L. Campbell. If you're ever in the Katy area, look up Two Pits, stop by, let them know that National Scouting Service sent you their way. Also, another sponsor of this show is Coach Eric Briggs. That is Briggs Goalkeeper Training. If you're a soccer player out there, a goalkeeper, or just want to get the mental aspect of your game going or improve your soccer skills, contact Coach Eric Briggs on Twitter at Eric D. Briggs, and you can also contact him on Instagram at Eric Briggs 8. Also like to give a big shout out to Ophelia Soul Food Restaurant that is located in Galveston, Texas. If you're ever in Galveston, stop by Ophelia's. You can search them on Google, get their information. Once you go, let them know National Scouting Service sent you their way, and you will enjoy their great customer service as well as their portions of food. Also, if you're someone that's like to get your food or your event catered, reach out to Dave's Catering. Let him do all the work. You can reach him at 832-392-3896, and he can help you with all your catering things that you need done for your special events. Again, I am Coach O. This is the National Scouting Service Podcast Show. To those who's new to the show, you can comment and post on our show, and we'll post it on the screen, address you, give you a shout out, and then we'll get back onto the show. We're also live on YouTube on the National Scouting Service, Facebook, National Scouting Service. We have our own podcast radio station. You will have to download Station Head and follow National Scouting. You can also call into our station as well as post comments on our podcast radio station as well. Without further ado, we're going to get into our special guest highlight video. I had messed this up on the last show. I hope I got it corrected this time. And we'll bring him in right on the show, and we're going to talk some football with our special guest. But with that being said, let me get off the screen, play the highlight video, and we'll bring our guest on to the show. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that highlight video. And again, I am Coach O, and let me get on the screen. And we're going to be bringing our special guest on in just a second. It may be 2 seconds, it may be 1 second, it may be 3 seconds. But without further ado, we're going to bring our special guest on to the show. And we have him on the screen as now. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Corey Tims on the show. Corey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay, we got a little a screen freeze right now with you on the screen. Can you log off the camera and come back on, and hopefully we'll still have our sound and our connection?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Okay, as he's doing that, where we can get his feed going, where it won't have a frozen screen. I am Coach O, and this is the National Scouting Service Podcast Show. And we do have some guests that has tuned in, and let's give them a shout out. We have Coach O, that is by Levi Thibodeau. He's one of my players at Dickinson Junior High School. Big shout out to Levi. I really appreciate you tuning in to the show. Don't forget to ask your questions. We have Samias. He says, hey, Coach O, another one of our student athletes at our school. And Mr. Timms is coming back on the screen now. Let's see if we can get him on the screen. All right. And he should be coming on in 1 second. Can you hear me, Mr. Tim? I can't hear you. Let's see. I guess he's going to refresh his screen. But yes, this is the National Scouting Service podcast show. We love to have young student athletes on our show. And if you have any young student athletes out there that you think is deserving to come on the show, send them our way. We'll get them on.
Can you hear me? Yes, sir. I can hear you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can see you. You want me to click on the YouTube on my phone and see? That somebody said they can't hear or see you. I can't see you on the YouTube either or hear you. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I can't see you on the YouTube. Hey, somebody just texted me and said they can't hear you either. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, sir. It's on YouTube. I can't see you yet. It's a little delay, so I'm waiting on that. Yeah, they still can't see or hear you.